Hey guys, it is Shane back for another preview here on WD18. This time the Golden Boys are heading up to Leicester to take on the Foxes at a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday afternoon. Before we get on to the team news and to about the game, let's cover some big news from the week. The first one is actually news that's broken within the last few minutes or so whilst recording this. It is the big news that Isaac Success has signed a 5-year deal with the club. Very unprecedented, actually. Great to see him, though, be rewarded. I'm a big fan of Isaac's Success. He's had to prove himself a lot, though, this season. I did say he was on loan last season, and there were lots of rumours coming out about his time on loan. I believe he was at Malaga. And there were a few rumours coming out about him last year. He was overweight. He started matches, was taken off after 20, 25 minutes. Really, his head wasn't in the game. He's come back, though, to Watford. He's put in a fantastic pre-season. I've made comments about him looking quite ripped. He's been in the gym. He's done the work he needs to get back into the squad. And he's done more than that. He's now a part of the first-team squad. Scored, of course, against Huddersfield. And he's looked a really lively part of this team, and you know, the way in which he runs at the defence, he kind of panics defenders as well, and he's done so well to get back into the side of a player that I thought was actually just going to be another write-off, really. But he's done so well, as I say, to come back in again, and I think the 5-year contract is very much rewarded, and is very much a show of just how far he really has come. Moving on to other contract news. Of course, we brought you the exclusive last week. If you were following the fans forum on WD18, we brought you the big news that Javi will be signing a new contract. That was confirmed yesterday. Javi has signed a 4.5-year deal to remain with the Hornets. As I say, he's turned the club around. He's stabled the ship, actually. When Marco Silva actually left, things were up in the air. Fans weren't too sure as to what was going to happen, but Javi came in, calmed us all down, and has produced some fantastic performances. A man who's very comfortable dealing with the fans. He's fantastic with the Junior Hornets as well. I noticed the Junior Hornets had a Q&A session with Javi, and there was a lot of humour there as well, and he was very, very well respected by them. And it's good to see that Javi is doing things like that, and ultimately it just furthers that connection between the club and the fans. And he was also really good value as well at the fans forum. Gave us a really interesting insight into things there as well. Not so much the next level, but I would say there have been performances in within the time that he's been here that have been fantastic. The Chelsea game at home, his first home game, is one that will stay with me for possibly the rest of my life, really. One of the best home games I've seen at Vicarage Road. Other games as well, of course, the Spurs game earlier on in the season, and host of matches where in previous years we may well have lost, may well have got a draw, but Javi and his tactics have kind of carried us through as well. He was known in Spain as someone who would give some of the big teams a bit of a bloody nose in the way in which he'd actually set up, and he's proven that in the Premier League on more than one occasion. So very, very happy for Javi, very happy for Isaac as well, and a week of new contracts, which was something that we weren't really expecting, but again, it shows that the team are moving forward. And just in regards, just quickly actually to Javi, it shows that the Potters have found someone that fits their model now, and someone that they would like to build and maintain a long-term relationship with. And that's ultimately fantastic. Moving on, though, to the game on Saturday now. And it's a bit of an interesting one, actually, I guess, from our perspective, because in regards to Javi, our aim and Watford's aim is to kind of bring to an end a 3-match winless sequence. And in regards to Leicester, they're looking to extend a 4-match unbeaten run at the moment. So we're coming into this in different forms, really, in different kinds of form, I guess. Leicester's last win was the 1-0 away win at Cardiff. Apart from that, I think they picked up 3 or so draws. They drew midweek against Southampton in a game in the EFL Cup that went all the way to penalties. And of course, in regards to us as well, we've not won a game since Huddersfield last month. So a chance for us to get 3 points, a big chance for us to get 3 points, and 3 points that I think we do need to genuinely get. As a whole, the King Power Stadium hasn't actually been that good. We've scored once since we've been promoted to the Prem. That was in the first season, the year that Leicester actually won the title. We lost there 2-1, Troy Deeney scoring a penalty. And that's the only time we we've actually scored at the King Power. We fared slightly better at Vicarage Road. We've scored a few more goals. We've actually picked up a couple more wins against Leicester. I know the one last season over Christmas as well. So we struggle at the King Power. Really, I was there. I've been there the last few seasons actually when we've been there. And the game last season started relatively well, but Leicester were always they were looking to kind of edge in front, really, and I guess they did. It was a Vardy penalty in the end, and just no creativity from us at all. And then Mahrez made it 2-0, and it was actually that game taking place on a Saturday. Terrible game. I mean, honestly, it really was. Journey back down again. I was travelling with Jacob on the way back, and just quite silent really on the way back, and I don't blame him. I was in a terrible mood. Got back Sunday morning, came in. It was snowing outside, and the news broke at about 10 o'clock that we'd sacked Marco Silva. And ultimately, we ended up being at the Vic that afternoon, about 5-6 o'clock or so, to record some videos for the channel. So. An eventful 24 hours the last time we played Leicester. In regards to team news as well, unfortunately at the time which I'm actually recording this, they've not actually had the press conference, but from what I actually know, Daryl Janmaat is back in contention. He's returned from injury and should be in contention to start, or get back into the squad at least anyway. I think from my perspective, I would keep Kiko Feminier at right back. Holebast, I don't think has recovered in time for from a calf strain. That's at the time of recording, and therefore I would expect Messina to start. I think the defence will stay mostly the same. There are calls to bring back Christian Cabasele in that defence. I would probably leave it for now. I think if things don't go to plan Saturday afternoon, I'll bring him back in again potentially for the City game, but I don't think he's going to make the change, Javi. Right now, because I think Javi's got a lot of faith in Cathcart and in Maps as well. So, and obviously the game on Saturday against Liverpool, we'll quickly touch on that. 3-0, I think, as I say, 3-0, I thought flattered Liverpool. We held our own against them first half, and had refereeing decisions gone for us, it could have been a very different result. But Liverpool's quality told in the end, really, by hook or by crook, they managed to get the 3 points. So, it is that really, and ultimately we're not going to be judged on performances against a high-flying Liverpool this season. With our injuries clearing up now, we've got a much fuller, fitter squad to choose from. Harry's will have these kind of problems as well, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to look at and think, oh my god, this is such a bad situation. It's actually not. It's a great situation for us to be in, because we've got some talented players in that midfield, and of course the likes of Nathaniel Chalobah, who haven't really been given much of a chance, really, because I guess the likes of Capu and Doucouré have been solid enough in that midfield. And then elsewhere, of course, the big news of the week, and the one that I'm sure a lot of Watford fans are looking forward to, Adalberto Peñaranda. Will he make any kind of appearance against Leicester? Of course, he wasn't up there for the Liverpool game. He needs to have a full... He's been training. I assume he's been training all week. Will he play a part? For me, as I said, the same kind of thing for me would apply against as it did against Liverpool. Put him on the bench, and if we need him, bring him on. Last 25, 30 minutes or so even. I've noticed we're starting to make changes very early on in games. Now 55, 60 minutes is what I noticed against Liverpool. We took off De La Feu. We brought on Isaac Success. Could we maybe do something quite similar to that against Leicester? I think we probably will. I think in regards to our striker situation up top for the weekend, I thought it was very harsh for Isaac to be dropped for the Liverpool game. I wouldn't do that. I'd go 4-4-2. As I've kind of told you the team already, that I'd pick Foster in goal. The back four stay the same. Capu, Doucouré, the two in there. Wingers, I'd go Pereira on the left side of midfield still. He needs a major improvement in his performance. He was absolutely shocking against Liverpool. Anonymous, actually, to tell you the truth. Right side of midfield, I would go still for Gerard De La Feu. I think he'll be given much more joy down there on Saturday. And then up top for me, Troy and Isaac. But with a very strong bench, and a bench that would hopefully maybe include the likes of Daryl Janmaat, Tom Cleverley, Adalberto Peñaranda, Andre Gray even. So we will have the attacking options on there as and when and if we actually need them. In regards to Leicester City, I've seen a couple of bits of team news for them, and I know Harry Maguire. I know Harry Maguire I know Harry Maguire, I think, is 50-50 for the game. He should shrug off an injury, I think, in time for the game on Saturday, which is a shame because I think him actually being out for Leicester would be a big boost for us. Rashid Giselle as well, I think, has been struggling with a knock, but I think he should be fit for Saturday as well. My thoughts for the game are quite simple. I think we need to get the 3 points. We don't tend to fare very well at the King Power. Leicester are not in the best of forms, and that's why I think we can potentially get a result. But you never know what's going to happen, really. I think their biggest danger man is Jamie Vardy. I think he's going to cause us absolute fucking list of problems at the back. I mean, we always seem to crumble every time he gets on the ball. He's a lively player for them. I expect him to score, actually, in all fairness, but I expect the Hornets to come out on top. My prediction for the game is I'm going to go for a 2-1 Watford win. Thank you very much for watching.